No, I want to keep that now. We want the green screen, baby. We want the background to be different. Okay. Yeah, that's what we want. Yeah. How y'all doing? So, watching a movie called Invasion. Still watching it. Well, when I watch movies sometimes, what is it? I have breakfast and coffee and everything. So, watching a movie called Invasion on Prime Video. Still watching it, but I had to pause because it's good and good, and this word just came up. I don't know what's gonna be said, but the title of the message is "Why Do People Cheat in Relationships and Marriages?" I mean, y'all know I speak faith, all that, right? And I still speak faith, but we're gonna just talk about what is real, what is reality, about what things are. So there's a difference between how I talk. Now I'll talk and what is true, and then I speak also concern faith talk, right? It's a lifestyle of a Christian. And if I'm talking about things that have occurred or things that people struggle with, things like that, doesn't mean I'm not operating in faith either. We're just discussing what is going on. So faith is Genesis to Revelation. That's all I can say. But why do people cheat? And so in this movie, y'all can check it out, Prime Video, called Invasion. This, you could tell she's a wonderful mother. Wonderful, seemed like an amazing wife. Now I don't know yet. The movie just got started. You can't see yet how she is as a wife, but you clearly see who she is. You're getting a good understanding of who she is as a person, especially in how she's responding and how she takes wonderful care of her children and her home, the way her home looks. If somebody cheats on you, this is the reality. See, I'm gonna share testimony too. Now, y'all know by faith, I'm a single. I'm a single black woman of God, believing God for my husband, right? And so the Lord knows how that's gonna go all play out. I'm just doing what God has given me to do and proclaiming that it is so and all of that good stuff, right? But the reality is that I was married before divorce. Y'all saw, if you wasn't on Facebook, I think it was on YouTube. It should be on YouTube too. Why show, listen, proof of my document. So can't nobody say to somebody, oh no, she's not single. No, no, no. I'm legally divorced. Legally divorced before God and before the city in United States and world. Because infidelity, adultery took place with my ex-husband. He cheated along with other things, but he cheated. And in the Bible, I believe in the book of Matthew, God does permit divorce for that reason. So before God, single, and and in the courts, because I filed for divorce and it was granted. And this is 2007. We are in 2025. So that's how long I've been a single woman. When I say single, I mean single. It has not been a relationship since or a marriage since, but I'm believing God for my marriage. Amen. Now y'all know how I talk about stuff, right? Okay. So you talking about someone. I'm an anointed in the area of intimacy, sex, and romance. I'm anointed in that. So you can be giving it to somebody left and right all day, all night, doing backflips, this, that, and the other. If somebody is an adulterer, if somebody is a whore, if somebody wants to cheat, they're going to do that. So don't ever think that, because I was like, well, I'm saying I'm watching the movie. I'm like, well, is she not giving her husband none? Because that's what God says. Do not deny each other that. Husbands, don't deny your wives. Wives, don't deny your husband. Because you can make room for temptation. And what is that person supposed to do if they have appetite and they married? See what I'm saying? There's people, I was told, I don't know how true it is, but there's people who've gone years and their spouse denies them. Now, obviously, look at me. I've been single and not doing nothing. So, you know, but that's not the will of God. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's why we got to do it God's way and marry who God has for us. Because some people, I was told by a professional therapist that women do that all the time to their husbands. They deny them that purposely. It's like abuse. I call that abuse. And that's wrong because if he can't just leave. And if he divorced her, is it legal before God? You see what I'm saying? But perhaps who is she getting it then from? Cause don't people advertise? Maybe not. Anyway, so I say all that to say, don't always think it's the other person that got cheated on. Now, so and I know that from experience. Now, before that, I've had other relationships cheated, had kids on me. I had to find out like, oh, here's a picture of his baby. It just here's a picture. Oh no, did I held the baby? Oh, I held the baby. Yep, I held the baby. My ex-husband, he had a baby too on me. Kind of like, yeah. That was such a long time ago. Was that the exact timing? Yeah, somebody got pregnant. Yeah, he cheated on me with several different people. And then somebody got, I know the other ex, I'll say it that way, had a kid on me. They about the same age. And I think that one too. I think what it was I found out after the fact, but the baby was already here, and it appeared that child was conceived during our marriage. I think that's how it went. But I didn't find out while the marriage was still going on. I found out afterwards. And it was like, and someone was just like, oh, that's his baby or something. I think it's just such a long time, but I think that's what it was. Because, you have a child with someone, you still have the visitation things. So regarding the whole drop-off visit thing is when that came about. Someone of a relative, and I held the baby because I don't blame the kids for nothing, but I'm just saying, like that's my past. You see what I'm saying? So I know what heartache is. I know what heartbreak is. I know what it is to be cheated on, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to wait on God. I'm like, yo, I refuse to hurt somebody like that, and I refuse to be hurt. It's like, God, if there's a holy man of God that will love me, then Lord, I want to marry. Otherwise, Lord, I'm married to you already, and just help me to keep myself. But the Lord, let me know He does have someone for me. And so don't ever think, that somebody is cheating on you because you're not fulfilling your job as a wife, or you're not fulfilling your job as a husband. You see what I'm saying? You can be cooking for her, cleaning for her, paying the bills, handsome. You look amazing. You're attractive. You dress nice. You're clean. You smell good. You know how to fix things in the house. You're not lazy. You're a man of God. You can listen. I was that one. And I'm a woman of God. I am a Prophet 31 woman. I am the full package and then some. Like, I am. And so you can check off all the boxes, and they will cheat on you with somebody that makes no sense. Okay, someone that is ugly. The Bible makes it clear some people are beautiful and some people ain't. Okay, so they'll cheat on you with somebody I'm talking about ugly. They'll cheat on somebody that is the complete opposite of what they ever said they wanted. That has nothing to do with you. If you ain't denying them intimacy and they doing that, that's because that's who they are. There's no love in them. There's no love. You can't tell me you love someone. They are actually loving you back. They're not abusing you. They are wonderful to you. They are loving you. They're respecting you. They're being intimate with you. They're romantic with you. They're doing all of that. Even if it's not a so-called God-arranged marriage, right? Let's just say you just married someone because of all these wonderful things, but you're not sure if God put it together. Even still, the fact that this person is a wonderful human being to you, demonstrating love to you. By the way, you can't give love if God ain't in you. If you don't have God in your life, you can't give love. It's impossible. The very essence of who God is love. If you don't have God, you don't know God and a pardon of your sins, He is not in your life in some kind of way, you don't have love. But you are still a human being, right? So I'm just assuming as a human being. The only thing that makes sense for someone to cheat to me is there's no love in you. There's no love in you. You have to have zero love to cheat on somebody that is doing all these wonderful things for you. Because even if you didn't, let me just say this. Even if you felt like, okay, I'm gonna use an example. A guy a long time ago. This is 17, 16 years old. Okay. He he I broke up with him, but I wasn't trying to break his heart. I didn't cheat on him though. See what I'm saying? But he did something that, as an adult now, it wouldn't have been a big deal to me. But the good thing is that that's because it wasn't the will of God. But that's another story. Bottom line is, even though I didn't cheat on him, but because there was things about him, a particular thing I didn't like. It was like a what they call it. It's just some things. Some people just like, if you do this, I can't be with you type thing. It was that was the thing for me. It was like I could not do this because of this one thing. It was a big deal to me. It was a, what they call it, a deal breaker for me. But I didn't want to hurt him because, at that, he didn't do anything mean to me. I didn't feel like he was being mean or disrespectful. I thought he was wonderful in a lot of ways. I thought he was a lot of fun, But it was this one thing that I couldn't just tell him because I didn't want to hurt his feelings and just tell him. I felt like it would have been embarrassing for me to just tell him. So I didn't want to tell him, And what it was he was just disgusting. But I mean, what I guess teenage boys can be. See what I'm saying? So his room was a mess. So that's what I'm like, as an adult, I mean, as an adult, I'll clean our room. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll clean my room for me and my husband. You know what I'm saying? Unless he wants to clean. I don't mind picking up after him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just me. But being a teenager, I was just like, ew, it's just disgusting to me. And I didn't want to tell him that. So, I broke up with him, but I thought I did something nice for him. Sexually, I thought that way. It was something I never did before. Actually, I never did it before. So, but I wanted to let it, that was my way of showing love to him. Like, hey, showing him love, like, hey, we can just be friends. I just told him, let's just be friends. But I didn't want him to feel hurt or anything, but he seemed to really had not liked that. And we never could just be friends after that. He was really upset. But I never cheated though. You know what I'm saying? I didn't cheat on him. I never cheated on anybody in my past, and this is before I'm who I am today. Nope, never cheated. I had one time coming, it was a relationship that wasn't a real, I mean, it is what it is. When you're young, what is a real relationship? We're just not gonna go there, but I was in a relationship with this one guy, and we didn't see each other that much based upon, and I'm a senior in high school, he's in college, and you know but we would see each other sometimes, but we didn't, it is what it is. But we broke up. We broke up, and it's like we broke up without really saying it, but we knew we broke up. And so he had a new girl, and then I had a new dude, but we still kind of intimate. But in a new dude, we wasn't really official, and it was just a mess. So that was the only thing that I ever did that was close to almost cheating, but it was like, it wasn't. It's like you're in college. I'm in high school. Well, I just no. When me by that time, I didn't go to college. I took a year off before college. So this is like 18 years old. You see what I'm saying? 18. Me and him's broken up, but we didn't break up off bad terms at that time. So it was just like we was cool, but we was just still being intimate. It was just no relationship. But if we saw each other, we would be intimate. And then somebody hooks me up with some new dude. And I'll be honest with you, this is what it was. God just brushed my memory. So the new dude, I wasn't planning on being intimate with. And I already knew this wasn't somebody I would want to be in a long term with, because it was things about him I felt wasn't good for me. But I just thought, well, my so-called friend at the time hooked me up. And I thought you're supposed to have a boyfriend. You're out of high school. You're in college, going to college. You're supposed to have a boyfriend. So I did not have no education on relationships whatsoever. And so, but the first time we was intimate, he forced himself on me. So it really wasn't consent. So that's kind of how that happened. So I was just broke. Me and him, the other dude was broken up. We weren't, together, but it wasn't off bad terms. We just drew, like, they say people grow apart. We didn't really have a strong foundation. He was a little bit older than me. He's in college. I'm in high school. We didn't see each other that much. We didn't talk a lot either. We didn't really get to know each other that much. And and so we kind of broken up. We knew we was broken up because you don't do the same things you do. You know what I mean? But we ended up seeing each other and we was intimate this one time. And then next thing I'm meeting this dude, this new guy, and whatever. And I didn't want to move too quick like that, but he forced himself, so it was rape because it was not valid consent. So now there's two people, and within this week time that I didn't plan. So that's the only thing that ever happened. Nothing else. I never cheated on any guy, and that's relationship. That's relationship, not even a marriage. And this is teenage years time, right? And so, because I never knew how to lie. Lying never was my thing. This lady I used to be friends with a long time ago, teenager, she lied a lot. She could just come up with a lie like it was nothing. I remember one time I called her, just give me a lie for something. And it's weird because I don't even usually even do that either. But it's weird how I did that over not even something a big deal either. And I didn't even use what she said. I think I just kind of wanted to see what she was gonna say, or something. Like she was just like, "Oh, just say that." I mean, she is the, phew, that girl would lie. They say compulsive liars. She was like, she was. I don't even know what word to language. She lived a lie of. She believed it. It seemed, like, yo, she would create some stuff, boy, and it was like she believed it. Oh my goodness, yeah. Ain't no way I could do that now. Not where I'm at in my life, but I'm older, obviously. But so no, so I've never cheated on any guy that I ever was with, never. Um, and you know, and we're talking since the age of 13. 13, and then, you know, and so I mean, it would be like if something didn't work out, you move on. It didn't work out, however way it broke up. And then you're single. You now you meet somebody else. So, I never understood how you could be with someone in a whole relationship and be talking on the phone with them, getting to know them, and then the phone rings. Your phone letting you know Mark is calling you. Mark 1124. No, but seriously, another guy's. You want to? What you gonna do? You FaceTime. Let's say this like a FaceTime. You talking to your boo, and then, who came up with that anyway? Talking to your boyfriend, and then the phone rings, and we're gonna get a little bit deep in a second. Talking to your boyfriend, your phone rings, and then you're like, okay, you gotta click over because you gotta talk to this one. Hold on one second. Let me answer this call. That's my mother. Like, what you gonna say? That's my sister. That's my cousin. Hold on one second. Hey, how you doing, sweetheart? Hi. So now you gotta pretend you ain't on the phone with your boyfriend. Now you ain't gonna get nothing you saying mixed up. So, I think this is what they do. This is what I think they do. They tell everybody the same thing. Because one lady I saw an email. Who told me to look in the email? I don't know. Anyways, I think so. My ex-husband, I looked in his email because the computer is right there, and I don't know if God told me to look or whatever. And I saw an email letter he sent to female said exactly the stuff he said to me, yo. So that's what they do. I think that's how you gotta do it. Because otherwise, gotta keep notes and stuff. See, I like things that make sense to me. You got to pay. So listen, in a fake world where cheating is okay, I can't do cheating. First of all, I sinned against God. I don't want to sin against God. So that's the point. I don't want to do that. But see, things gotta make sense to it. For something to take that amount of work, God damn it, I got to get paid. This would have to be a whole business. It would have to be a whole business that makes sense. So then I guess that's what they call what? Prostitution. See what I'm saying? Or what they call them, call girls and stuff. So we ain't doing that. See, we don't do. See what I'm saying? That's when it turns into a business. Okay. So and that's why I almost got into the porn industry. Okay, because I love intimacy. Right, but I wasn't gonna do it because I was like, well, I don't want. One day I'm in college. I'm like, nah, because I'll just produce it. Cause these girls in this school is hoes anyway, and I can just make money. And they I had a whole list of they was ready to go to guys and girls. I'm like, all right, but I didn't do it, thank God, because I was like, oh, what if somebody get AIDS or get on drugs, because and I knew I wasn't gonna be in the video, because I'm like, what if my kids in the future something see this, or my family might see this, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't do it, thank God. But I didn't do the whole thing, but I knew I wasn't gonna be in it because I didn't want nobody to see me. And I'm like, I'm thinking like family could see this one day. You can't hide, so you don't, so I didn't do it. But um let me think. So cheating. So in order for someone to cheat successfully, but still not successfully because it gets exposed, I guess you got to say the same thing to everybody. So if you say baby to all, if you say baby to all the boyfriends, then they don't call nobody by their name. See, that's what they do. So you can't call them Keisha. You can't say Tasha. You can't say Kendra. You gotta say the name. See what I'm saying? You gotta say the name. You guys so you but so you can't say names. You gotta say baby. Okay? Or whatever, honey, whatever word you got for the booze, they gotta all have the same word. Right? So there you go. That helps. And then you gotta have the same conversations. You gotta say the same things to everybody. Okay, but what about all this? Not each person ain't gonna tell you the same thing unless they doing the same thing. No, but everybody got their own thing. So how you gonna remember everything everybody said? How you gonna remember everything everybody said? So let me see. So Mark is saying he works at such and such, and do whatever he's saying. And then Sean is saying such and such what he's saying. And Mike is saying a whole bunch of stuff he's saying. And Peter's saying a whole bunch of stuff he's saying. And Paul is saying a whole bunch of stuff he's saying. Damn, I was using Bible names. I'm saying, how you gonna remember? I don't know how y'all. Who cares about remembering who's about to do all that work though? Who is about to do all that work? For what? What? Somebody tell me the benefits. Maybe because somebody's like, okay, well, Peter pays the bills. Okay, Peter, Phil, Daniel's gonna pay the Bartholomew is gonna pay the car note and pay to keep the insurance on it. So you're a prostitute. I mean, you make it maybe less. Never mind. And so maybe if you mix them all together, you get the full package of what you would want in one man. Maybe that's what it is. I'm gonna take a nap. Let me think. There gotta be a reason why. Does anybody know the reason why? So either way, bottom line is. So I guess the question is, why do people cheat? They cheat because they want to cheat. That's why. Because they want to cheat. Whatever the reason they have, whatever the whole main key phrase here is that they want to cheat. You can swing off a swing, backflip on it, honey, ride it like a cowgirl, cowboy, whatever you call it. They cheat because that's what they do. You ain't changing nobody. I live the life I live not because of somebody. I'm a holy woman of God, not because of my husband. I'm not even married to him yet. This is who I am. So him marrying me, he knows he don't have to worry about cheating. Because I'm not even cheating on God, and I'm not even cheating on myself. You see what I'm saying? Because if you cheat, I believe the Bible say you cheating, you cheating against your own body. You attacking your own body. Being a whoremonger, adulteress, or fornicator. You're sinning against your own body. So I'm not sinning against God. I don't want to. I don't want to sin against myself. I don't want to. And so I'm choosing this way of life because I love it. And I know what the other way of life is like. It was no good. It was painful. It was heartbreaking. It was stressful. hoping you ain't pregnant, hoping you ain't got nothing because you with a new dude. You hope he ain't got nothing. It's like you hope he ain't cheating. It's just going through all this stuff. It's just, it's just not worth it. And so watching the movie, so let me tell you how we got to this. So watching the movie Invasion on Prime, still watching. You guys check it out if you like. Um, the woman, I mean, you could tell, amazing mother. Something's going on, things are happening, but you could just tell. First of all, you could tell it seemed like something's off with her. It seemed like something's off with her. She don't seem happy. But she seemed like a wonderful mom. She went to medical school also. The way her kids are with her, you can tell that she's loving them. And the way she is with them, she's loving them. It's just all this love. You know, the house is clean. She's dinner's made. I mean, you know, she's picking the kids up from school. Wonderful mom. Wonderful home. And the kid was just like, something is going on in this city or this town or whatever. Something's going on, and something happened after school, and she had to take the child both of the kids to the hospital and all this. So all this crazy stuff is going on. Some serious stuff is going on. They evacuated the school, type crazy stuff is going on. Where's the husband at? You don't hear that, you don't see that, whatever. So now, you know, I guess the shared location, however way the kids was able to show, or they was able to say, let's go where dad's at. I guess dad ain't picking up the phone. She goes by the address, because you know the phone share location stuff is on there. She goes by the address, and the window, the curtains ain't all the way closed, and she's watching her husband cheating on her with another woman. And she got to go in a car, and with her son and her daughter in the car. Mind you, they look like about, the daughter's 6 and the son looks about 8. Now she's crying. She's got to act like she's not in the car. She had to witness her husband. Not only is all the stuff that's going on that day, which was scary, all this crazy stuff, no support from him. He's over with a whole nother woman in her house making love. She had to witness this, watch that, and now has to go in the car and deal with the fact that for the first time she's aware of her husband cheating. She had to see it, and her kids are in the car with this date that's been already a lot. So she kind of is crying. The kid's like, you okay, man? She straightens herself out in the front seat. They're in the back, and she's pretending like everything's okay. And they go home. Now she goes online to find her, because now she knows the address. She goes online, find the woman on there. So listen, she got slick, because I mean, now her husband's coming home like he ain't did nothing. Oh my goodness. Yeah. He goes home, and look, she got dinner made, whatever. So she's trying to keep it together. She's playing this little role. So it seemed like what she did was, I guess that woman on social media who he cheated on her with, a white woman with blonde hair, slim. I mean, she's beautiful. I mean, it's like, okay, she's kind of like almost white looking. She got dark hair. Okay, she can bleach her hair to blonde if you like blonde. It's kind of like, I'm over here like, she got a coochie. But anyway. So, I'm saying, so she goes to cook the meal. I guess the woman does cooking things on her page. And so she goes and cooked a meal that she specializes in that he cheated on with. So his wife, she goes and makes the exact meal the way that woman makes it. So he goes and says something. She was like, oh, how's the food? So she's playing it off. He's eating it. And he's like, oh. Now, first of all, I don't recall. I could rewind it or not. But I pay attention to stuff like this. It could have happened, but I don't think it did. But you could watch it. Like, okay, your husband comes home. Like, I feel like there should be some love interaction. There's no way. I don't do that. I can't, listen. Your husband comes home. Your wife comes home. Your kids come home. There should be love expressed. There should be a hug, a kiss. I love you. I miss you. How was your day? There has to be a touch going on. It just has to be agreed with a hug and a kiss. You do that with people you don't know. Don't you do that on your job? You do it at church. Like, your husband comes in the door. He should be kissing you and ready to get in that room. And you should be kissing him and ready to get in that room and make love. However way, time, and he got to eat whatever. But there should be at least a kiss and a wonderful kiss and a hug. Not a little bit like y'all are cousins or somebody or at the church family. And like, you understand what I'm saying? So that's number one. So I feel like they didn't even happen. He just came in. It's like, hey, like they roommates or something. And she gave him his food, and so she's like, how was food? He was like, oh, this is very good, very flavorful. He's a more flavorful than you've done before. And she's like, oh yeah, I got this recipe. So now she's breaking it down. So then she starts breaking down, oh, this recipe and this and this. He's getting hip now, like, oh yes, she's exposing, yeah. Then she kind of tells him, so what is it? It's, because she's white, because she got blonde hair, you know. So anyway, so then, before it can get into all that other stuff, now some crazy stuff starting to happen. The house is shaking because like the movie's called Invasion. So we're gonna see how it. So let me go on here live about them all led by God and stuff like that. The Lord was dealing about some stuff. I'm realizing it's coming through this way. So, why do people cheat? And the Lord had me share my testimony. Amen. So you get to know a little bit more about me here on YouTube, I would say. Facebook kind of got some of this information already that I shared. So I'm realizing you guys don't have all the stuff that Facebook has. So y'all got me coming on here with the hardcore Mark 11:24 stuff. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of this. So the reality is, I said to myself, first of all, it's just a movie. But I did say to myself, like, but that just shows you, movies are just movies, but there are real aspects you can usually find probably in almost or most movies, right? What's real is marriages, couples, kissing. These things happen in real life. Children happen in real life. Male and female, that's in real life. Houses and cars, right? These things are in real life, right? Computers, TV, cars, right? So you can't say movies aren't real in a sense. You can say there's some real aspects to it. You know what I mean? Not that the storyline is perfectly real, but there's a lot within that whole movie that you can say you see in real life. I mean, literally. And by the way, Lord gave this to me, and I'm going to say it now. Movies is someone's imagination. So just so you know, that still came, whether someone acted it out in real life or they put it in a movie, that still came from someone's imagination. So that's a whole other thing, right? Movies didn't just make itself, by the way. I mean, do you see the stuff that's out? Those came from people's imaginations. You ever watch them? Listen, there's some movies I like. Like, okay, there's a movie. I was like, I'm not even want to mention this movie. Because when I was a kid and watched it, I did not like it. I can't even tell y'all the name of it. That's how much. No. But, like, in these movies that I'm like, yo, these came from people's imaginations. Yo, like, yo, what was y'all thinking? I'm glad y'all are making movies. Because, ooh, okay. Now, some people could take things they read in a book and come up with an idea. So there's different ways how people come up with movies. But bottom line, they still come from their imagination. Yes or no? Okay. Some people do put out movies. Matrix, Terminator is from an author book or something, I think. Those two movies came from, you know what I'm saying? So people can do stuff like that. Some people take, and the word Matrix is in the Bible. So, so anyhow, so past that part, so why do people cheat? Because they want to. Now I said to myself, well, did she not, because I'm like this, I can't see how really show, unless I missed it, but so far I don't think so. They didn't really show yet who she's been as a wife. I see who she is as a mom. I see how her children are responding to her, but I haven't yet seen in the movie how she is as a wife. Because I'm not hearing far what